What's going on, you guys? It's Haji here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to Gary Vee's The Ultimate Advice for Every 20-Year-Old. Must be good. This video got 3.3 million views. I want to see why it got 3.3 million views. I'm 20 years old. I'm not 20 years old, but I'm in my 20s. And I do want to know why this video was so popular. So let's do a reaction video to it. Let's look at some of the advice that Gary Vee gives in this video. Give you guys my take on it, and will I do it? Will I not do it? Is it worthy advice? Is it worth taking? And how to best implement it and practice it in your life, most importantly. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Hello?
Hey Taylor, it's Gary Vee. You're on the Ask Gary Vee show.
Not allowing me to.
So let me help you. The space you're in is probably the macro micro issue. So it's macro patience, micro speed, right? So what do I mean by that?
By the sound of her question, I already knew that the answer was going to have to do something with patience. And once again, patience is, I think, like on almost every episode we've talked about patience, or patience has came up. So patience has came up in almost every episode that we talked about, and patience is an invaluable skill. With anything that you're gonna try to do, it's gonna require for you to have some solid patience to see that thing through completion, which is most important, seeing it through completion, and that requires patience. So I already knew it was gonna require some patience. In the last episode, Patrick Bet-David called it aggressive patience, being aggressively pushing, but being patient enough to wait for the results.
You need to be patient as fuck, Taylor. You're 22, 23 years old. Like, what do you think's gonna happen overnight?
Yeah, I know.
So you need to be fast, 7 a.m. to 2 in the morning every day, but in the big picture, you need to realize nothing good is gonna happen for the next 6 years.
Okay. And
I don't know about 6 years. Honestly, you don't have to wait that long. You know, because nowadays our patience is so short. Like 30 days feels like a lifelong. 30 days feels like freaking forever now. So if you stay committed with something, or stay committed with a marketing strategy for at least a year, you will see results. Like maximum a year without results means you're kind of doing it wrong. But like, you don't have to be patient that long, but patience, you know, does take you there. But the longer you stay patient, of course, the bigger your results are.
And do you think that I should just try every good idea that I think I have and just go for it all out? Or do you think I should stick with one thing at a time?
I think the fact that you even asked that question, that you should taste flirting with a lot of different things, because you'll be crippled by the what if you don't. Even though that's not the perfect formula to build the biggest short-term wealth, because you should go triple down on one thing instead of being half pregnant on 9.
Okay.
That advice was literally spot on, perfect. You know, if you don't know what you want to do, definitely you want to dabble around and figure out which one suits your boat, which one suits your flavor the most, which one kind of fits your personality, I would say. But if anything, you want to find that one thing and you want to just go deep into it, because the fastest way to get to anything is a straight line. And if you want to get to any sort of goal, the fastest way to get there is by complete focus on that one thing and going straight ahead. So you guys, that is very, very solid advice. And this is something that I need to practice more in my life. So I'm already going to be putting that in my implementation bucket.
Okay.
Taylor, let me tell you something. Let me ask you the pressure. Are you trying to prove to yourself, to your siblings, to your parents, to the world? Like, who are you trying to prove that you're successful to, or that this was the right call?
I like the tone of his voice on this episode, for real. It's like he's like really about to drop it on you, for real. Like,
or you're gonna make it. Like, that's what you have to figure out.
That's a good question.
What are you impatient for? Like, what's the problem? You want to buy a fucking Rolex? Like, what's the rush?
I feel like I've known that I'm meant to do something big.
Me too.
I grew up in an entrepreneurial household.
Me too.
And so it's in my blood, it's in my bones.
Good.
And I feel like I watch all these other millennials hitting these huge, I guess, milestones in their life.
What milestones?
And then I'm sitting here.
Let's break it down. How old are you?
I'm 22, about to be 23.
Okay, what milestone?
yeah, see, like, main problem that a lot of people in our age group struggle with is really that comparison syndrome. Once again, we're not in our prime until we're 40, 30. So you guys, you just have to like put like these little horse blinders on, and you just have to focus on your lane. Just focus on your lane, and because your lane will take you somewhere better than everybody else's lane that you're looking for. So I will completely, you know what I say, like disagree with her. Like I will completely disagree with her as far as looking at other people, looking at what they're doing. You want to focus on yourself, because the people that you're looking at, they only got where they got because they were focused on themselves. And if you want to get anywhere, you want to get to your goal, you want to make sure that you just stay focused on yourself.
Okay, what milestone, please give me a millennial and the milestone they achieved that makes you feel like you're just sitting in fucking Buffalo.
Well, I'm sitting in Buffalo, which is one thing I'm not happy about. But,
that's right, because it's home of the Buffalo Bills, piece of shit team. But
yeah.
but before you go there, forget about sitting in Buffalo. Who's the millennial and what's the milestone that's making you feel like you're sitting there? Go. The truth, go.
Well, honestly, there's people on social media, which definitely is not always true.
Who?
But I watched...
And then the worst part is like it's not even nobody that you're close with. It's just random people. You have no idea where they're from. So yeah, it makes no sense to even compare yourself or to even look at people that you have no idea how they got there. You don't know their story. You don't know nothing. So what's the point? Is like it's like comparing a bee to an apple.
Oh God, I guess the only thing on the spot I can think of is a Kardashian or a Jenner, which is lame, but.
Can we talk about this,
yeah,
please?
I feel like, sure.
Like, you're telling me that Kylie Jenner's fucking trillion followers on Instagram makes you feel like you're just sitting there?
No, I feel like the fact that she's already got a business started that's super successful.
Did you
comes with her fame.
Did you factor in the fact that her sisters and mom architected something for 10 years while she was a teenager that she was able to walk directly into, that gave her a springboard, and that she had the financial capabilities of deploying ungodly amounts of plastic surgery and all the other variable things that she's been able to do to create that culture and that financial benefit?
Yeah.
Did you factor in that her mom is a ninja architect of business and created that framework?
Yeah, and I feel like not many people.
Yeah, once again, you don't know people's story. You do not want to compare an apple to a bee. That's a terrible example, but just the only thing I can think of right now. But you don't want to compare an apple to a bee. Like, you're literally comparing something that you don't even want to be compared to. And then if you look at like the details, like you wouldn't trade your life for theirs. This is like the question I always ask. I would never trade my life for anybody else's. I don't care if you're like the king of Dubai. I would not trade my life for yours. So, like my favorite J. Cole quote, you got to love yours. So I think this is big. I never watched this video this is my first time watching this video with you guys. And, it's hitting home.
I agree. But what the fuck does that have to do with you?
It has nothing to do with me. I know.
No shit. Remember how I don't know if you saw this where I said stop looking at your friend's shit or whatever the fuck I put on Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it or not, but it doesn't matter. You looking at the Kardashians is the most ludicrous horseshit I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that's just the first thing that could pop into my head.
Great, give me another. Listen, we're here. Give me another one.
There's a guy in London. I can't think of his name at the top of my head.
I'm gonna stop you right now.
Okay.
Let me give you some. I was gonna say fatherly. I guess my father is 40. No, I'll give you some massively older brother, uncle advice. You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Every second you spend thinking about what somebody else has is taking away from time that you could create something for yourself.
So true. He just dropped a gold nugget right there. Every second, every minute that you spend, every minute that you like literally spend on social media looking at somebody else's life, you could have been building. You know what I'm saying? Time is that valuable. Time is the most valuable asset that we have. And we all know this. We all talk about it. We all say, hey, time is valuable. Time is valuable. But in all honesty, like how much of us really value it like that? How much of us really, consider every second wasted a second that you'll never get back? We don't think about it like that. We know that it's valuable. We know we won't get it back, but we don't treat it like it's the most valuable thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? We treat materialistic things like they're more valuable than our time. So I think that's a very, very, very solid point. And it just comes down to like, just treat your time with immense amount of value, just so much value. Because like everything going on in the world now, it just clearly just shows you that life is extremely short and it is very temporary.
Yeah.
You're losing. You're losing because you're laying in your bed looking at somebody's fucking glamorous photoshopped picture of them doing something cool, and you're envious and you're jealous and you're impatient, and it's crippling your upside.
Yeah, because that's where I want to be, and I know I'm not there yet.
Once again, envy is just a terrible energy. It's one of the worst energies that you can have in your body. Being envious of somebody else is a terrible, terrible energy. It's a distracting energy. It's an energy that completely blocks you from attracting things into your life. So you want to just completely take that energy out of your body. You want to meditate on that. No envious. Be grateful for what you have. Practicing gratitude removes enviness.
I want to be, and I know I'm not there yet.
You haven't done shit.
I know.
So go do shit that actually gets you there so that you earn it, instead of like you dwelling that you're not there and hoping something's gonna happen. I don't know what's going through your mind.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm hustling on the side, but I don't think I'm doing enough, I guess.
You definitely aren't doing enough if you have enough time to fucking consume the content of a Kardashian and some boy in London.
That's true.
Taylor, listen to me. Taylor, listen. You've got to deploy patience, and you've got to love the process. I'm addicted to the process of the battle scars, the setbacks, the lack of, Taylor, I gave up my entire 20s, all of them. Imagine not doing anything fun or going anywhere for the next 8 years.
That's also a very undervalued skill, being able to just enjoy the process of doing it. Because we all do something for a particular result. When we do something, when we're in the action of doing it, like we're only thinking about the result, but we're not completely present in the actual process that we're doing. We're not completely present in like the steps, every keyboard stroke of the process. We're just focused on, okay, let me just get this out the way so I can, boom, move on to the next thing. But like that is so draining when you're not completely present and enjoying the process, because the process is everything. The journey is so short-lived. Like one of the examples I have is like, what was this? It was like I was going for a goal. I forgot the goal right now. I was going for the goal. And then once I finally hit the goal, I enjoyed it for like less than 60 seconds. And I'm like, okay, already thinking about the next thing. And I'm like, dude, I've been chasing this for like literally months. For months, this is all I could think about. And then this is it, 60 seconds. And I'm already thinking about the next thing. Like that was so short-lived. The journey is longer lived than the actual goal. So you might as well learn to enjoy the journey more. And that is a very valuable skill that we should all learn. And right now, different things that you could do to just enjoy the journey, once again, all comes back to being mindfulness and being present. So practicing meditation to just really enjoy every second and really valuing the time. As every time passed by, you're grateful for every second that you continuously have. I think it's a great way to just necessarily enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Even if you're doing something that's boring and sucks, just enjoy the suck. Enjoy the fact that you actually have the time to do it. You have the capabilities. Be grateful for the time that you have to actually do it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Where for the next 8 years, including Saturday and Sunday. That's what I did from 22 to 30. Every day I spent 15 hours a day in a liquor store, thought about a liquor store, built a liquor store, sold wine, like spent every day. Like this last weekend, don't lie to me, Taylor, what did you do this last weekend? What did you do fucking Saturday and Sunday? Tell me the truth, don't bullshit me.
Yeah, no bullshit. I'm helping my mom right now on digital media and branding for her company.
Love you.
And so I had a marketing meeting with one of the people doing that.
Love you.
And then I also...
How much time did you have?
Yeah, she going in details. She's like, look, dude, I was productive. You even exposure.
How much time did you have for yourself on Saturday and Sunday that was not working every minute? Tell me the truth.
A lot.
I know.
Exposed it. Everybody got exposed.
Punchline, right? Now imagine this, when I tell you this. You spent more downtime on not your career this weekend than I did in my entire 20s combined.
That puts things into perspective.
I think so.
Awesome.
I think so too.
Yeah, I need to just get to it.
Taylor, you need to do me a huge favor. If you really want to win and you want to come to New York in 8 years and shake my hand, here's what you need to do. You need to stop giving a shit about what anybody else has and realize that if you put your head down and just work for the next 10 years, no glamour, no new fucking car, suitcase, jewelry, trip, event, no Coachella, no fucking new fucking sneakers, like fucking work, you will have it. And every time you care about one of the things I just mentioned, it will slow down your process of having it.
That was a very good point as well. Just sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. You know, I'm always a person that thinks, oh, I sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice a lot. I've made a lot of sacrifices. And then sometimes I think back to like, have I really sacrificed a lot? Have I sacrificed enough? It's always more you can sacrifice. And it's those small things that you think, oh, what the hell, you know, it's small, you know, it doesn't matter. Those are the ones that you need to sacrifice. Those are the little ones that you could just continuously sacrifice, and they're going to add up. You know what I'm saying? All those time wasted, like, it's a compounding effect. Imagine like you're just going, and then you just stop. You got to then come back and build it up again to the point where, you know, you're going as fast as you were before you stopped to take a break or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's good to take a break to just, but, you know, not like a necessarily going to Coachella. Like, that's just like you're completely stopped. You're completely out of the flow of building your business. You know what I'm saying? And then when you come back, you got to build that back up. So I 100% agree with that. Like, the sacrifice has to be there, and you have to take everything and just reinvest it back to what you were already, back to your business and what you were doing.
Okay, so in less than 8 years, when I'm a millionaire by 25, I'll come shake your hand.
I promise you that statement itself made me 100% guarantee that you won't.
Damn. God damn. Oh my goodness. What? That was a burn.
No.
Yes. That's how this works. Being a millionaire
That
at
was
25
hilarious.
when you're 22 and you're at dick shit and haven't even started is inconceivable unless you fucking hit the lotto. What's the romance?
Okay.
What's the romance of, I want to make, you know how everybody says, Gary Vee, when are you going to buy the jets? In 2 years? And then I reply 20 years? I'm romantic about the journey and the process, which is why I'm actually going to pull it off. You're trying to be a millionaire by 25. How, Taylor?
It's just a goal I've always had.
Why?
And right now with what I'm doing, I guess.
Back to the journey and the process. God, you have to be in it for the journey, the process. Such a good point, and really just, it's a skill to develop. Once again, it's truly a skill to develop. How to enjoy the journey, how to enjoy the process. It's a worthwhile skill to actually develop.
I guess it's not.
That's right. It's an arbitrary bullshit thing that means nothing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather guarantee millionaireship by 36 than by doing long-term marathon running versus doing a bunch of bullshit sprints that guarantees never having it? And I promise you, a funny thing happens to your self-esteem when you're 31 and not a millionaire because you've been chasing fast fucking cash and you're now 6 years removed from not hitting your goal. Your self-esteem starts fucking with your head.
Yeah.
Have no expectations, you guys. This is a weird like thing. It's like Eastern philosophy. In the Western culture, we want expectation, we have goals, we have deadlines, we have standards. You live your life much happier when you have zero expectations and just be pleasantly surprised by all the actions that you take and the results they get you. We're always setting expectations, chasing our own tail. You know, at one point, when should we start practicing not having expectations? Let me know what you guys think about that, right? Should we not have expectations at all? I think we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. I want to buy the New York Jets, but when I clarify it to everybody, I want the process of trying to buy the New York Jets more than buying the New York Jets. Understand?
Yeah.
That was a very, very good point. With Instagram and all these apps, it's not a matter of deleting it. That's not how you solve the problem. You're just really just covering the problem when you delete these apps. What you want to do is learn how to have the discipline and be a producer and not a consumer of these apps, right? You want to be a social media producer and not a social media consumer. And with that, I think that is just literally the sign off of this video. And one of the biggest takeaways of this video, be a social media producer and not a consumer, because as soon as you start consuming, you're in someone else's agenda. And I think this was a really good video. Until next time, you guys, it's Haji here, the Basement Entrepreneur. And I hope you guys enjoyed this content. And if you guys want more in-detail trainings on how I'm practicing to execute some of these strategies that Gary Vee talked about in this video, I would love it if you guys come join me inside of my Facebook group where I post in-detail trainings and videos talking about how I specifically execute these strategies. Yep. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah, catch you guys on the next video. Haji out.